Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to do another makeup look using the Shaaanxo the Remix palette. And for today's look, I am gravitated towards the shade right here called Lover. So it's a nice purple shade which has a little bit of pink hue to it. What I'm going to do today is maybe create a matte smoky eye with a highlighted inner corner. So to start that off, I am going to prime my eyes with this Mecca concealer. To set my eyes, I am going to use this shade right here called Clarity. And I'm just gonna go and use a face brush. For transition shade, I am going to use Terracotta, which is a nice red brick orange on a fluffy brush. Before I proceed, I almost forgot that I wanted to try the tape method. So now that the tape is there, we're gonna go back to the transition shade. I am going to use this shade right here called Dark Rose. So I'm gonna place that on the outer part of my eyes. And then I am gonna go over with the shade right here called Vampire, just a little bit, on the same brush. And just focus that on the inner part. And then I'm gonna go back to the transition shade and blend everything. I'm gonna go back to Dark Horse again and just focus that on the outer part. I'm gonna go and use this shade called Bestie just to smoothly blend everything. So what I'm going to do is to actually go back to the concealer and carve out the inner part where I want the purple to go. So I'm going to use a small brush with a flat brush. I am going to use the shade called Lover and apply that on the concealer. And then I'm gonna go use the Vampire to blend. And with a smaller brush, I'm going to use Vampire and kind of blend the inner part. And for brow bone highlight, I'm going to use the shade Clarity. And I will just quickly apply my tight line and mascara, and I'll be right back to do our face. I didn't want to apply false lashes because one, I'm kind of lazy, and two, I kind of like the way it looks without false lashes. So for primer today, I will be testing out The Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer, and I've heard a lot of good things about this primer. It's a little bit of a creamy side, but you could definitely feel a little bit of slip of silicone. And before I start everything else, I am going to apply this Australis Strobe Jelly. And I did a video about this a couple of days ago. And I love this underneath the foundation. So I'm gonna dot. It gives a nice glow to the face. And it's very cooling as well. For foundation today, I am going to use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r foundation since I want a full coverage but natural looking. So it says to shake well. I just finished applying my foundation on top of the primer, and it kind of smoothed the areas right here with a lot of enlarged pores, and my chin, which has a lot of texture, as well as in between my brows. So that's a really good primer. It doesn't feel greasy or anything at all, even though the foundation already looks nice. I'm going to move on to the concealer, and again I'll just use the Mecca Lifeproof concealer. And then I will just use a makeup sponge to press the product in. To set the under eye, I am going to try this Mascara Brightening Loose Powder from Maybelline. And this is new powder that they released, at least here in New Zealand. So it says bakes, brightens and mattifies, and it has a yellow or beigey tinge to it. But what I like about this is you only have that portion right there with holes, so you can kind of control how much you use. So the powder looks like that. It kind of reminds me of the banana powder, only a tad bit lighter. So I'm going to use a Real Techniques brush to apply that powder. So comparing this side right here to this side, it definitely brightened my under eye, and it took away the shine as well. As you can see here and here, it's very finely milled. It just blends right into the skin, and it kind of looks invisible. It mattified that area right there, and it bright. It did a good job on highlighting. So now to set the rest of my face, I'm just gonna use my baby powder, which I have talked about once on my channel, but I didn't really share as much. But this is such a great translucent powder, especially if you have oily skin and you want to mattify your face. To bronze, I am just quickly going to use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Dark Deepest. I am going to try this Essence Get Picture Ready contouring palette, and this is under $10. So you have a contour shade, a bronzer and a highlighter shade. So I'm going to use this shade right here to contour. Going to use the same brush I used to bronze. The powder is very smooth and it definitely shows up on my skin. Very blendable. I'm gonna use that on my nose. For highlight today, I am going to use the NARS Duo Intensity Duo in the shade Frenzy. So I'm going to start with the highlight. And for blush, I am going to use the same palette and just use a teeny tiny bit because this blush is a bit pigmented. My face looks so smooth with the primer, and the contour is looking good. I quite like this makeup. So we're going to finish off the eyes. So for underneath the eyes, I am going to use the shade Vampire on a pencil brush. Just put that all over, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of the shade called Dark Horse on the same pencil brush and focus this on the outer V. And for inner corner highlight, I'm actually gonna use this shade called Dream Girl. I don't want a white highlight, I kind of want like a pinky highlight. I will actually mix a little bit of Island Glow to kind of brighten it a little bit. And then I'll apply my mascara, and I'll tightline the waterline with a black eyeliner, which I never ever do. So I'll just focus it on the outer part of the eye. So for the lips today, I think I'm going to just keep it neutral but on the more pinky side. So I'm going to line my lips with the Essence in the Nude Lip Liner. And for lipstick today, I'm going to use the Gigi Hadid by Maybelline in the shade Tora because it has that cool tone pink to it. I quite like this lipstick with the lip. So now, to set my face, I'm going to use the Australis Makeup Finishing Spray. And here is my final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize if it's a little bit all over the place because as per usual, my videos aren't planned. I kind of just sit down and do makeup. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates and I will catch you on my next video. Bye!